Somebody should please tell me, why is Peter Obi doing the work of a waiter? I really want to know. I really, really want to know. Also, Iyabo Ojo and Verydarkman have actually settled their issue. Like, these guys have settled their issue. These and many more is what you're going to be seeing in the course of this video. So do well to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's go! So the matter between VDM and Iyabo Ojo actually started on the 12th of September 2023 after the death of Mohbad, in which Wunmi actually came out to the general public to make certain posts concerning the people that might actually have something to do with the death of Mohbad, in which she mentioned names, directing Nigerians towards where we are not supposed to be directed to. Imagine her not mentioning the real cause why Mohbad died, but she was actually pushing Nigerians towards Naira Marley, Sam Larry, and all of these people involved, claiming all sorts instead of actually mentioning the reason why Mohbad actually died. And because of that, we all saw Iyabo Ojo came out to the general public to actually support Wunmi and the likes. And the reason why she was actually supporting them probably was because of emotional reason. Because at that point, if I can remember very well, Naira Marley had this feud with Iyabo Ojo. They were actually fighting. And because of that, and coupled with the fact that we had already been seeing videos of Naira Marley actually torturing Mohbad in the past. We have actually been seeing this fight online between Naira Marley, Sam Larry, and even Mohbad. We have been actually been hearing these gist in which these guys have actually been showing Mohbad shiggy before then. So it was easy to actually direct the death of Mohbad towards that direction. And with that, Iyabo just started making videos, saying a lot of things about Sam Larry, saying a lot of things about Naira Marley, saying a lot of things about all of the people that she think might be involved, and she was actively involved at that time. Not until Verydarkman came out and made it known that, see, this thing that you're actually talking about might not be true the way you're actually saying it, but it was saying it very, very harshly. That you guys are not looking at the people that might actually be responsible for the death of Mohbad if truly you want justice for Mohbad. And that somebody just spied and you're already coming online to come and type things about Naira Marley and Sam Larry. It looks very, very strange, and because of that, they started arguing and fighting each other. Like, they were going back and forth, they were going back and forth. It was not an easy fight. If VDM posts today, Iyabo Ojo will post tomorrow. If Iyabo Ojo posts tomorrow, it was this fight that were actually going on, and it was now making the justice for Mohbad even look irritating, sounding irritating to many people here. It got to a point that Verydarkman was making it known that our emotional involvement is actually hampering this justice. And many people were also coming for the fact that, see, VDM, you are doing too much concerning this case. Not until late 2023 when Verydarkman actually made mention of the fact that, you see, Iyabo Ojo and her daughter were actually Nakanaki, Naira Marley, and because he actually said that, Iyabo Ojo came out to the general public and also came for his mother, he abused his mother, and at that point it even gets more worse. The matter got more worse, and these guys were actually abusing each other. Like, they were literally saying so many crazy things at that point in time. We already know the story, so I'm just giving a background touch of actually what went through. They were abusing each other. Many celebrities came and involved themselves in, including Iyabo Ojo's boyfriend, in which he was telling celebrities that this need to stop, that this guy is a manipulator, that he's actually doing this, he's doing that, he's doing that. And at that point in time, Tunde Ednut was caught because Tunde Ednut was posting him back to back at that point in time. So many celebrities actually chatted Tunde Ednut that he should stop posting this guy. And he actually made it known that he's getting so much text from his page that they should stop posting him. And at that point in time, not because they were fighting, but because Tunde Ednut just wanted to just agree with some of these celebrities, this high celebrity, he stopped posting VDM at that point. Though he has started posting him back, but at that point in time, he stopped posting VDM. So Gossip Me, all other blogs continued posting VDM because his news at that point was actually generating views for these blogs. Like, they were having millions on millions of views. Maybe these guys were feeding off this news, and Nigerians were actively involved during this period. This was one of the things that actually skyrocketed VDM safe. It really, really skyrocketed at that point in time. Was moving. So they actually took the matter to legal battle, and Iyabo Ojo actually sued VDM for cyberbullying and so many charges that was actually brought to him. Not until Davido's wedding. Everybody would have thought, oh, it was Davido's day, you understand, he should enjoy himself. Not until VDM attended the wedding, because he actually had access to actually meet Oshime at that point in time. So he actually followed Oshime. And because he followed Oshime to the event, he was able to enter the event without the need of ID or IV or whatever. Because he actually followed Oshime, there was no need for IV because he was actually a friend of Oshime, and because of this, and because of the status that Oshime had, he was able to enter the event. And the event that everybody was clamoring, Davido's Day, didn't last much because of VDM. Because by the time VDM came back, that was when we were getting news that Iyabo Ojo was also at the event, but she didn't come at the time that she was supposed to come. The time that was actually slated for celebrities like her was around the evening time. around the evening time, but she came early, and because she came early, it was struggle for her to actually enter the house, and because of that, VDM dragged her again. She came back and also gave her account of what actually happened. It was so messy even at that point that it actually went from Mohbad beef to personal beef for each other. That they actually went for each other's family. It was just so crazy at that point in time. Not until one video that Iyabo Ojo made was actually making mention of the fact that Mohbad died inside the house, not outside the house, because the CCTV camera were not this, were not that. And the very dark man came and said, "See, you know what happened to Mohbad. Come and give your account of what actually happened to Mohbad. Come and give your account. I'm not even forcing you anymore. This and that. Just come and give your account of what happened to Mohbad." Because immediately this event happened, they had arrested some people like Prime Boy and the rest of them. They released them about 4 months later. These guys didn't know practically much about the death of Mohbad. They didn't know much. But the people that were responsible for the by itself, we don't know till today. We don't. It happened like that. So it happened like that, and we actually moved on. So Iyabo Ojo made a post at that point in time that she was not going to talk about the issue of Mohbad again. So for a while now, she didn't talk about it, and the fight for Mohbad actually dropped. You understand? People were not talking about the issue, though Mohbad has still not been buried, but people were not talking about the issue again. Why? Because it was getting too much. It was getting too much. There were many other issues to attend to. And, many Nigerians were already cool with the fact that he has died. Whenever they want to bury him, let them bury him and let the matter just end. Not until Verydarkman now brought up the issue. And when he brought up the issue this 2025, many Nigerians came for him. Allow this boy to rest. Why are you bringing the matter to social media again? Why are you doing this to the boy? You don't want to allow this boy to rest in peace? What is your problem? Many people actually came for him. But I actually saw light when he actually brought it out. Because this guy has not yet been buried. He has not yet been buried. And he's still crying out for justice from wherever he is. He's still crying out for justice. And it happened that when he actually made mention of these things, many Nigerians came for him. But notwithstanding, he didn't actually allow that to deter him. He continued. He started with Sam Larry, interviewing Sam Larry. From there, Prime Boy, the friend of Mohbad, the driver that actually drove Mohbad during the night before the event, and so many people like that that were involved in the case, so that they can actually give account of what they actually think might have been the reason why Mohbad died. You understand? And all of these people actually gave their account. Not until Iyabo Ojo actually made it known that he actually wanted herself and Verydarkman to meet. And these guys actually met and they spoke their mind out. They actually spoke their mind out and they revealed things that they are supposed to reveal. And yesterday or the day before yesterday, we call it, Iyabo Ojo came out to the general public and said so many things on her Instagram post. She made so many things known on her Instagram post talking about the fact that she had already allowed herself to be interviewed by the police and they are carrying out their investigation. Because at this point, I was actually thinking, what exactly is wrong with our police officers? That it is Verydarkman that is actually carrying out justice for Mohbad, where we have police in this country. You understand? So when I heard that they are actually arrested, that he actually called and called for Iyabo Ojo again, I was like, okay, that's cool. And in that post, she also made mention of the fact that she was receiving threat messages, that they actually pawned her house, did so many things with her. They are threatening her life, threatening our family, threatening our child, and all of these things. It was not quite easy for her at this point. And we have seen so many people have even bringing placards to actually say justice for Mohbad. Iyabo Ojo must suffer, all of these things. They were sending out tons of message that she's going to die, all of these things. You understand? But sending all of these things to her. And to be very honest, at this point, I just feel like Nigerians should calm down. Except if there's something else that you actually want to gain from this case. Nigerians should calm down. Because if it's about Mohbad case, I'm sure the police are carrying this investigation out, and I want to believe that they are going to carry it out with justice this time around. And they are going to carry it out with justice. And by the grace of God, we'll actually fight. And by the grace of God, we'll actually find true justice for Mohbad. That guy must get justice. His soul will not rest. It won't rest until that guy gets justice. He has already made it known that nobody will rest. Anybody that buys him, he will get justice. And to be very honest, I'm happy that God actually brought up VDM at that time. So now the two of them have actually settled their beef, and Verydarkman has actually made it known that she's not going to talk about between himself and Iyabo Ojo any longer, that he's actually going to let it die down. But he's going to make it known that God sees Iyabo Ojo's heart. God sees her heart. And that if truly she intentionally used this boy's death for her own advantage, God sees her heart, and they had this conversation and they ended the conversation, and that was the end. And that was practically the end. Right now, I saw Iyabo Ojo talking about this Lizzie Anjorin. Is the other person that we know that is in our book in the social media space. I'm just so happy that Iyabo Ojo and Verydarkman were able to settle their beef. Yes, at least we are going to rest from that case and we will now focus on the real focus on what actually acquired Mohbad. What actually acquired Mohbad? Why was the attention shifted by Wumi? Why was it? Why was it? What actually really acquired him? Why wasn't he mentioned in that post? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Do well to follow, like, comment, and share. But let's move on to the next news, which is Peter Obi actually sharing food in Imo State. Yes, we actually saw a trending video of Peter Obi sharing food, and many people have actually been talking about the fact that, see, why is Peter Obi doing this? Many people have actually rubbished this. That even if you have good intention as a politician, many people will not trust you. Many people will not trust you. They will think you are just doing it for clout chasing, just like many people have actually done in the past. You see people like Sanwo-Olu doing this, going to the general public, moving on the street, behaving like truly, they actually really mean well for Nigerians. Not until they get into power. And where they get into power, we say something else. So if Peter Obi is doing this with true intentions, many Nigerians are coming for him, criticizing him, that we have seen this before and we don't want to see it again, because it looks like it's anytime you guys want to gain favor to actually enter into the office, that is when you guys do all this nonsense. And immediately you guys get into office, don't do this again. And many people are coming like, oh, as long as it is Peter Obi, even if they like, let him jump from the mountain and come down, they are still going to love him for it, because it is Peter Obi and because to some extent they trust him. And some people are also making up the fact that, see, Peter Obi, don't try this again. Please, don't try it again. So what do you actually think about it? What do you actually think about it? Do you think this actually makes sense? And do you think the fact that many people have rubbished that kind of thing means that Nigerian politicians cannot do this? Because we have actually been seeing Peter Obi doing these things over and over again. It is not today. But even if it's not today, the fact that many people have actually rubbished this in the past to showcase this helping attitude, immediately they get to power, they behave like strongholds. You cannot talk to them any longer. They are bigger for you now. In fact, you want to see them, it becomes a problem. You ask for things, they use police officers on you, they declare war against you, and it is in the Buski Bao say that they fight you with. You understand? So what do you actually think about it? Let me know in the comment section. Do well to follow, like, comment, and share. See you in the next. Peace out.